Hi everybody, welcome back to Small Caliber Arms Review. I'm Richard. Today we're taking a look at the Model 10 again. Not so much the Model 10 as we're going to take a look at the scope, because in the last video I did on this rifle I said I wanted to put a scope on it. And I did that because I thought it was going to be a pretty good shooter. Now it's got open sights on it, a little rear buckhorn sight on here and a front post sight. But I thought this thing would probably be really good. It's a single shot with the micro groove rifling in it and everything. I thought it would be a pretty good shooter, and just with the open sights on it at 18 yards, I didn't do terrible. But the issue is being able to see in that fine a detail what you're shooting at, and a scope is going to do that for you. It's going to get you up close there so you can see exactly where you want to put that that round. Now this is a Tasco RF3-7 by 20. Tasco used to make some really decent scopes back in the 70s and 80s. I think this one is somewhere around the 80s, maybe 90s. It's still an older one. I picked it up used on eBay. Not in the best shape. The screws were mismatched, and they're still mismatched. I just put one that's more correct in there than the one that was in it. And I did have to take the lenses out of both the ocular and the objective ends there and clean those up. And you got to be real careful when you do that. There's a ring in there and it takes a spanner wrench to get it out, and you have to keep your lenses in the same order so you don't throw everything off. This is what they call a TV scope, and it's because of the image that you see when you're looking through there. It's got the zoom ring right here. It's got your ocular focus right here. That's for your eyesight to be able to see the reticle inside there. Not a fancy scope whatsoever, but I went ahead and mounted it, and it mounts with a 3/8 dovetail on the top there, and it's good solid mount. I probably could have cleaned up those clamps just a little bit to make them fit a little nicer in there, but it's good and tight on there and fits really well. It just barely clears the rear sight and just barely clears the bolt handle on there, and I mean just barely clears it, but it does clear it. The nice thing about this rifle with having the T handle on here is you can still reach in there and grab it to cock it. They did make these models with a ring on there, and that would be a little bit harder to get your finger in that ring to grab it and pull it back. You could still grab the ring from the outside, but with the T handle on there, it still makes it pretty nice. It's still pretty easy to get to, even though the scope does get in the way there a little bit. But I took it out to the range, and I did not film the sighting in of it because that's kind of boring. And I've already done videos on sighting in a rifle. But I got it sighted in, and I took 15 shots at the 18-yard target. From the Caldwell matrix to my rear targets is 18 yards. If I'm standing at the edge of the saloon, it's only 15 yards. So I took 15 shots at the targets up there, and really this thing did phenomenal, I think. And it's not, I mean, the accuracy is there in this rifle. My ability to shoot really accurate is sometimes a little iffy, but even with this one, even with the heavy trigger on it, it did really well. Not only that, but I also took it up to the 100-yard range and just shot at the steel target up there, just thinking, yeah, you know, can I hit it? So I just aimed at the same spot because I didn't change the zoom on it. I had it set at 5 mid-range on there and figured it would, you know, be good either way, whether I went down or up with the zoom on it. But I set it on 5 and took 5 shots at the 100-yard target and got a really good group with that too. Maybe it's just luck, but I think it really did well. Anyways, that's all I wanted to do, was take a look at this and talk a little bit about the Tasco Scope. You can pick them up still brand new, really cheap. They're probably like 30 bucks or something like that. But I picked this one up used, and because it's the vintage one, I wanted one that's more closer to the period that this gun was made. And it turned out to be a great scope. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you could, reach up here and hit this button, check out some of my other videos, and hit the little round one down there to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.